Mario. How are you today?
Hey, pretty good.
Pretty
Same
good.
old same, you know.
All right. So KOS is coming up a couple weeks away. For those that don't know you, which is probably like two people ever, who are you? Where are you from? What do you have?
So Mario Diangelo from um, Eldersburg, Maryland, and I have a 2012 F-250 four-door short bed, 6.7 Ford Power Stroke.
And what do you, so like, jog us up to speed real quick, right? So this truck, we've been seeing it for what, 15 years now.
Yeah,
All these events, you bought it new. We did dyno events, we did Rudy's, we did all of the OG stuff, right?
yeah,
Um,
yep, yep,
and then we came out. So you kind of knew us because I was from the area. Matt and Tyler went to all the events that you went to.
mm-hmm,
You guys
yep,
all were tied in with MPD, was a whole thing.
yeah.
So fast forward to 2017, we came up with KOS.
Yep.
What decided, what was the deciding factor to make you enter that?
Just because the competition itself was just a whole different setup that wasn't really out there. It wasn't bring six trucks worth of parts to a event and uh, put something together. You know, it, it it was more of a real world race than anything else that was out there. And when I say that, I mean, the time in between events and uh, the events themselves and how they're done was just different than anything else out there that you could basically build another truck in the pits to compete in each event. Um, it wasn't necessarily a money game.
Right.
That was what really interested me before because like even the first year. um
Oh yeah. First year we had like what, 12 trucks or 11 trucks or something like that ended up
yeah,
showing up. Yeah.
yeah, and the top trucks that were there, I
That's
think
the
it
year
was
that
only.
Justin Andres won.
Yeah,
Yep.
Justin Andres won, and he wasn't. I mean, the guy had a hell of a run, and he really had put his team through the ringer with putting that truck, back together after each piece. But he was still, mom and pop shop. It wasn't like some big giant outfit that was, swap this and swap that, extra rears and everything in the truck to do sled pull or any of that kind of thing. He was just, an average dude with a bunch of parts that he scavenged together to get the truck running. So
Right. And 17 we had it. We skipped 18. And I
yep,
know during for 2018 we were kind of like, are we going to do it again
right,
or are we going to not? And I remember you and I having this conversation and you're like, you have to do it again because everybody's seen it now. All the
yeah,
negativity we got, all of the doubts, the it'll never work,
yeah,
the this and the that. And
yeah,
it also helped because back then DPC was still a thing. So the
yeah,
voting was still, everybody was still doing the votes and the
yeah,
popularity contest. And then,
yeah,
that was kind of like a game. But this one, it was just like, hey, just pony up the money. You can come and play. And, decent sized purses and stuff like
right.
that. And so then we went to Ohio and
Mm-hmm.
you just fought stuff tooth and nail. What the best you've done is what I think seventh one year, right?
Seventh, I did seventh a handful of times.
Yep.
three or four times, maybe seventh. And I think last year wasn't that bad. It was coming back, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the my issue is that, I get I get a lot of people that want to help,
Right.
but they never end up actually helping.
Right.
So there's a lot that comes to it with that. And I'm not a diesel shop. I'm not a performance shop. I'm a plumber and HVAC guy. That
Right.
I do utility work. I work on machines. I work on equipment and things like that. While it's not much of a difference,
It's enough of a
it,
difference. Right.
it's enough of a difference when it comes to tuning and things like that. The hard parts I have no issues with.
Right.
There are no issues with that truck and hard parts.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is solid. My problem is, and has been for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, is electrical.
Right.
Either an electrical issue or a, something to do with tuning, computer tuning. So that's been my problem. And I think I have it fixed, but who knows? Every time I'm like, oh, I got something for him this year. Well, I've had something for him for a long time.
Right.
And it's just getting that something to respond the way it should
Mm-hmm.
with the computer has been my issue. And I'm really, really hoping that this guy that I'm dealing with now um can put it together.
We Buckingham and I had this conversation when I did his interview actually yesterday, and he was talking about his biggest thing with KOS is that everybody cheers for each other, and you came
Yeah.
up, and I was like, you telling me that the one that comes to mind, he's like Mario, and I was like, exactly, Mario with the 348 or whatever it was, and it was like
348 feet.
right. But it's like I told him, I said, that's the truck I remember. That's the truck that we raced for years with each other. You did all of the diesel street nights that we had, the top
Yep.
10 street nights we had.
Yep.
We went to all these events, and it was always, you were up there on the dyno
Yeah.
competitions. We had, there was dynos all the
Hmm.
time. There were all these events. There was so much to
Yeah.
do. And I remember that truck being that, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that it's very difficult for Power Strokes now. We've had this
Yeah.
discussion multiple times in the group chat about
Yeah.
how Power Strokes are at a disadvantage, and we need to find people to get them to perform is very difficult. The Cummins stuff is a dime a dozen, and the Power Strokes has been a challenge.
Yeah.
And we're running into the same thing with our truck,
Hmm.
and it is tough. But
Yeah.
I think that there's so many people that are cheering for you, and that's probably, I mean,
That's cool.
that's why we all come back, right? That's why we all come
Yeah.
back to KOS, and that's why we all do it. What makes you keep coming back year after year, even though you have had some really tough luck? Is it like a I'm going to conquer this thing, or is it like a I'm coming home to family thing, or where are you at?
Uh, you know, I've kind of got in my head that there is a very slim chance that I'm gonna win at KOS. I've got, I mean, the most part, I'm a little bit of a realist, and I can tell, what is it, the top five trucks that have signed up are all over 2,000 regularly.
Well, except for
Um,
Tiffany, right? When she's
Yeah,
kicked ass.
yeah, and but she's 400 feet.
Yeah, that's true.
you know,
She can
she's
pull. Yep.
she's 400 feet when she's hooked to a sled. So it's a like, damn, I got a little bit more, and maybe, but the Dodges, if I think we talked about this before.
We
The
have.
Dodges,
Mhm.
if you're not 2,000 horsepower in a Dodge, like, are you even trying? You
Mhm.
know, um, the Duramax is starting to come around. There's starting to be more and more people doing the Duramax thing. I just cannot, for the life of me, understand why there's not more support for the Power Stroke.
Yep.
Yes, it's expensive. But there are people out there trying and doing it. There's just
Yep.
no one on the on the computer side
Right.
who has seriously, gotten behind the platform
Right.
and pushed the platform efficiently where it's supposed to be. That
Right.
has been, and that's like my I cannot stand it. The
Mhm.
Cummins is a great motor. I real
Tractor engine.
recognizes real,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
It's a great motor. The transmission, I can't. I'm not doing a transmission every time I take it down the strip. I'm not doing a transmission every time um I make a sled pull. I'm not doing that.
Right.
My truck has been very, very faithful. And yes, I have had some breaks here and there,
Mhm.
but for the most part, that transmission is solid.
Right.
I usually don't touch that transmission at least for the year.
Right.
And yes, it's heavy. Yes, it's expensive when it does go, but it makes it.
Right.
Um, the the I don't know. The,
It's
in my
difficult.
head,
It's so
yeah,
frustrating. It's so
in my
frustrating.
head, it's not worth it if a million people have done it. It's not worth it for me to do it.
Right.
Um, to be the first guy is fine. That's what I want. I want to be the first guy to do this. I want to be the first guy to do that with the Power Stroke platform. Um, Dodge, you'd have to go back to, I don't know, 2005 to be
Yeah.
the first of anything, because there's a better chance of getting hit by lightning than being the first to do something with a Dodge.
Right. Right.
Um, yes, there are guys who've been with us, Mister 4000 now.
Yep. That's
You
true.
know, so in Mister 3000, just what, 2 years before him, 3 years before him.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
they're all there. Um, but if I could just get this thing, in driving this truck everywhere else, no issues.
It drives nice. I don't like climbing over the cage.
Yeah, yeah, somebody in her, rule regulations making me put a cage in my daily. But anyway,
Oh man, I
um,
was not even prepared for that when you just like zinged me on that because I was like, God, Mario, why do I have to climb over this cage? And you're like, well, somebody in their
what?
rules. And I
Yeah,
thought, oh, my bad.
what?
My bad.
What is all this crap I gotta climb over? Somebody's rule section.
My bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Oh, we're not gonna talk
but
about that. Yeah. And so
that that is, that the truck runs phenomenal
yep.
everywhere else. As soon as it hits King of the Street grounds, it just decides it doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not working today. I'm gonna take a nap.
yeah, it's like every damn time this truck. I don't know, but sun shines on a dog's butt every once in a while, so that's what I'm trying to, uh, the cougar, Karen the cougar is ready for some sunshine.
Right, right.
So, um,
Well, so what is going to be all of your, so you and Matt obviously are in the same boat, right? You guys
Hmm.
are having
Yeah.
issues with the trucks. You know that they can perform. And I think that's the biggest issue, at least in our household, is like,
Yeah.
come on, this thing
Yeah.
will work. We've seen it work, right?
We've
We've
seen
seen
it work.
Craig, we've seen
Yeah.
Tyler. You guys have all been there before. We've had all these things ironed out. And
Yeah.
then, it's like, why it can't even get back to where it was 5 years ago, 8 years ago, where whatever that issue is. And it's, so what's going to be your plan coming in this year other than, yeah, I'm just going to go see what it's going to be like. What, what's your mindset like going into this year?
This year, it's like every year I go there with something to prove. Um, every single time. Every single time, I just want to show them. I just want to show them what it'll do. That's all
Yeah.
I do every single time. And this year, I really don't care. I'm just going to, I'm just going to just go out and have fun with my truck for the weekend.
Hmm.
And if it's still alive when I get done, so be it. You know,
Right.
um, I know, I know everybody's got videos and pictures of the sheer amounts of nitrous that are underneath the hood. There is no reason that truck shouldn't make real power. It's got 1,000 horsepower worth of nitrous under the hood. Actually, I think it's like 1,200 horsepower worth of nitrous under the hood. There's no reason that thing shouldn't make real power. It's just, I don't know.
What's the
And
highest you've been, right? So it's not the dyno. The dyno has been the same dyno. It's been for
yeah,
years. Scott Hoovie's dyno, which is now,
yeah,
I don't even know where that is. I think
yeah,
Ken's Auto has it, but it's the same dyno, right? It's the DynoJet, it's the
yep,
Dynacom, it's all the same
yep.
stuff. What was your highest horsepower to date on that truck? Do you remember and where it was? I think it was at Rudy's, wasn't it?
I think it was at Rudy's. It might have been at one of your events. It was 1483.
Yeah, I was gonna say 14 something sounds
Yeah,
familiar to me.
and
Yeah.
it was before I did all these nitrous kits and before I
Yep.
did the compounds. I had a
Mhm.
single 485 on there,
Mhm.
and the torque converter. I had the 2500 stall, which
Mhm.
I found over the years is not the happy place for the Power Stroke. It's 2800 is the magic number. Um, and I was having issues with it lighting, but once it got a little bit of spray, that thing came on and it hit 1483 and was happy, and I drove it home and everything was great. Um, but the let me see, the best the truck has ever done. It did nine something, 950 or nine something quarter mile at 7,800 pounds. That was the best track time. Um, dirt drags. I don't really even. That was
No, but we know sled pool was 348 feet.
yeah, 348 feet. That was, and I'm so upset with myself that I didn't even know that you're supposed to like unlock the converter when it starts to slow down. I was like,
But
what do
you
you
can do
mean
that
I
this
have to
year.
unlock it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get a couple
What do you
extra feet out of that.
Yeah, they were like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? I was like, what do you mean you got to unlock it? Oh man, that's 10 feet easy. Oh,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
oh,
Yeah. Yep. You would have been that
dang
much
it.
closer to Tiffany in
That
that
much
400.
closer. Yep.
Oh man.
Yep. Yep. So, um, the life lessons that you get out of this, and that's one of those things, like, I will now never forget that I'm supposed to unlock the converter. So we're
Oh.
good. Yeah, the nine something quarter mile was the fastest. 348 feet was the best, and I don't know. 3 something or whatever. It was the best dirt drag. Um,
Right. And we
yeah,
base that on like 200 feet. The track,
yeah,
track conditions play a big part in that. The looser tracks,
right,
obviously, you guys go slower. And the track
right,
we have
right.
now is a circle track. So it's pretty packed in. You guys get some decent grips, but it also makes a
Yeah,
lot of ruts and, it can be an
yeah.
issue. So,
Last year was phenomenal. The grip on that thing last year was amazing. I
yeah,
mean, there was some real wow moments last year with the track being as grabby as it was.
yeah.
For packed in circle track. So
So what's your thoughts this year on having no spectator events? Having no spectator events, having no actual general admission spectators. We have the VIP passes, obviously limited, very
yeah,
limited amounts, but
yeah.
what's your opinion on that decision when you found out?
I don't really. It doesn't bother me. Um, as far as there's a lot of people who were very upset that the spectator part was shut off and all. And while I understand that they wanted to come to the race or whatever, all they have to do is get with somebody who's in the race and just pay as a pit pass or whatever,
Right.
as a crew pass. Um, but as far as locals coming to it, um,
It never really happens. Yeah.
yeah, there's only a handful, you know,
Well,
and that's not really what this event has been about. It's been, this event's been about the racers.
the drivers, yeah. It's more an event for you
Yeah,
all than
yeah,
it's not a
it's
show. Yep.
yeah, it's not really, it's not a dog and pony show. It's not, let's see who can blow something up for the fans. It's let's get it done so that you can be better than the guy next to you. That's really what this has been about. It's not a popularity contest or whatever like some of the other stuff.
Right.
Um, it's a racer for racer event.
Right. It's very much focused on you guys, and there's, the schedule changes. We
Yeah,
always had complaints about spectators with that, and it's like, well, you said the pool
yeah,
was going to start, or you said this and that, and I'm like, yeah, but you know
yeah,
what? Oil downs, and you know what?
yeah,
Street drive, and you know what? All these other things will come into
yeah,
play.
yeah, 100%. The no prep didn't start at 3:40. It started at 4 o'clock. Well, uh, you
Right.
have to make sure the track is ready before you.
Right. Right.
Yes, so I do believe that will be a little less stress on you guys. So that's
For sure.
fine
Yeah.
by us, and like, things happen and the racers understand that. The general public does not.
Right.
So, when they're standing around, oh, this show sucks. Well, it's not a show. You want a show, go to Monster Jam.
Right. Yeah, it is definitely it's not a show for the fans. It's something that you
Yeah.
guys put together your best build and basically see who can last the brutality of the weekend. I mean, it's
Yeah.
difficult. It's difficult on your equipment. It's difficult on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys, the equipment just breaks.
Yep.
And that we need parts. We've overnighted parts to the shop before. We've
Right.
scavenged other things to try to get. Somebody's got, lots of people do bring extra parts, and it's
Right.
beg, borrow, and steal to, get what you need. And everybody jumps in to help. And it's like, well, what can we do to get you back on the
Yeah.
track?
Right.
Um,
Oh,
it's
and you guys have it right down the street from the metal shop. I
right.
mean, that place, I am so glad I don't live that close. That place has, like, I would refinance the house for that place. Like, there is way too much
Yeah.
cool stuff in there
Yeah.
but and
Rick's
they
got a
have
nice place down there at the metal shop.
they he
You
really
guys
does. The
went there
metal
a
shop's a
lot.
great.
Yeah.
And yeah, I spent I can't tell you like 2 years in a row. It was like, man, you guys got all this right here. I could just put my truck back together right here.
Right.
And
Right.
fuel cells and nitrous and all those things. They've got it right there, and it's been a shameless plug for the metal shop,
Right.
but and great people. They're open early. It was they're it's on point.
Right. Yeah,
And
that's
your guys is right, right down the road too. So if something major
yeah,
happens,
drop
we
ship.
can run
Right.
over there.
Hmm.
It's definitely, the Iron Shore is right around the corner, so that gives us another uh uh I mean, with the competitors that are there, the amount of tools and things that are there,
Right.
if and everyone will jump in and help.
Yep.
You just direct them, and they're in there like swimwear. So,
All
you know,
hours too. All hours of the night. Like there'll be
oh
some nights that
man,
they're up all night long. And
yeah,
I had this discussion with Buckingham. I said every time something happens, I know you are behind the shenanigans because you are up all night long.
he
And that's what
is, and I think he's really delirious when it goes down. I really do. I don't think he remembers any of it. He just goes on remote.
yeah. He's he's pretty funny. And I was like,
He is a great dude.
all of the memories I have so far of Buckingham is all of the shenanigans, right? It's the Pussy
Yes.
McCormick with the bumper. It's the
Yep.
flamingos outside the camper. It's the
Yep.
all of that stuff.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. And he's one that's like, every time we call a driver's meeting, I never know if we're getting yelled at or what.
Yeah. Yeah, driver's meeting. Oh shit. Let me go get my coffee.
Yep,
you know.
yep.
But yeah, I mean, mint 40, 50,000 mile truck, and he decides to take it racing. Like, who does that?
He said that. He said his wife didn't even know that truck was on the portfolio. He said he just parked it in 2012 and it never came back out. And he's like, just
Yeah.
decided, I just want to do this. And I think that means a lot to us, right? And you know this
Yeah.
because we're
Yeah.
friends outside of this competition. But
Right.
um it means a lot to us that it's like we have to do this competition every year. It's like a family reunion.
Yeah.
Everybody has fun, everybody gets along, everybody helps
Yeah.
each other. We have food for everybody. We get
Yep.
everybody's campers. I mean, it's like a whole thing. We just set
Yeah.
this up. So
Yeah, it's definitely a once in a lifetime event that happens every year.
right, right.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
What's
good
your
time.
advice for anybody on the fence wanting to come in, not sure if they want to come in or not, or just the kid that might be listening that has that, truck with just, a tuner and an intake and, maybe a drop-in charger?
Well, you know, don't let the horsepower numbers and things fool you. The truck can be won, just with consistency.
Right,
The truck event can be won with consistency and just being close for every single event.
right,
We've seen that time and time again. You know, we've had, it took Firepunk how many years to win it?
right. And it
And
took
then
Levon driving. Levon had to get back
yeah,
in the driver's seat.
Levon had to get back in the driver's
Yep,
seat, and
yep.
that no offense to them, they're a great team. They do great work. They just they're it's just how it is. It's luck of the draw. It's having all the chips when it's time, because in the blink of an eye, some little tiny thing like a 20 amp fuse on your fuel pump will take you out.
Mm-hmm.
That
That is
simple.
true. Yep.
Yeah. And
Or a
it's
fuel
taken
line. How many
many,
fuel lines have busted
oh,
on a street drive? So many fuel
many,
lines.
many, many, many.
Yep. Yep. The fuel lines always take out those high horsepower Cummins
Yep.
guys.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's always well, this is stupid. It's always stupid after it
Yeah.
happens. Before it's like, this is a great event. And then after that happens, this is stupid. Why are we even doing this?
Right.
Well, this is why.
This is why. To
Yeah.
knock you
Yep.
out. This is
Yep.
exactly why. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Those 4 or 5 second trucks, the ones who don't have the firsthand knowledge
Hmm.
will not do well in this competition because they are not prepared for that beast of a small little 100-mile drive
Right. Right.
that kills it every time.
Every single time.
Yep.
And
Yep.
having it over here. So when we were in Ohio, we all used to leave as a group, right? And the first year we had
Yeah.
it over here in 2017, we all left as a group. And
Right.
then when we got over here, we kind of were like, well, we have, double the amount of trucks. So
Yeah.
how are we gonna all drive? That's not
Right.
gonna work out. So then we did we'll send everybody out, do their weight, do their odometer.
Yeah.
And then everybody goes to the beach and then they
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So,
Everybody hauls me out to the beach, or me. I was always going up to Delaware.
right,
And it was just the fastest, clearest way was
right,
straight up to Delaware, make the UE, and come back, and that
right.
was, it was perfect for me. But
Hmm.
I never saw anybody else. I'd see 1 or 2 trucks stopped at getting breakfast,
Right.
but that was it. And then while you're not supposed to stop and all that jazz, but
Right.
like you go out to the beach, you're not going to stop at the beach. Come on.
Yeah, they usually
So,
do stop below the arch, get a picture, and
right,
then come back. Yeah, because we have a
right,
time limit
right.
on them. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
time
like you
limit. So
can,
as
yep,
long as you're in the time limit, you're fine. So,
right.
I was always worried. Like me, I'm the guy who's like anxious that I'm gonna do something wrong, and and somebody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, he stopped! I saw him!" And
Right.
it's like, man, I'm not doing that. I,
But
I'm 90 mile an hour to Delaware and 90 mile an hour back. I think I was when we did in Ohio, when we did um the first time you guys let us go on our own in Ohio,
hmm
I think I passed like 5 or 6 trucks because I was going 100 miles an hour. Not man, that's on record. Yeah, I was exceeding the speed limit slightly, getting my 100 miles done, and I think I did it in like 40 minutes or something. It was some stupid number.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah. And I almost got caught like 5 times.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just happened to see the nose of that Ohio patrol, and it was like, oh boy, downshift, downshift, downshift. Yeah.
Oh,
I think I passed like 5 or 6 people, like going up and then turning around and coming back. And
mm.
I was just weaving, bobbing, and weaving through traffic. It was funny.
Only you, Mario.
Yeah,
Only you.
yeah. I'm sorry.
But we don't have a lot of that anymore. I know like
Right.
the first few years that we did it, it kind of I call it like weeding out the bad apples, right? Like we had some
Mm-hmm.
issues with some people, we had some pit
Right.
throwers, we had some
Yeah.
problems, we had some guys that deliberately tried to bend rules to be
Yeah.
sketchy.
Yeah.
Um but we don't have that anymore. We have a
We
good
don't.
group of
Yeah.
guys,
Yep.
and you guys do a pretty good job. You guys really do a really good job of, look, we're not going to do that this weekend.
Yeah.
Everything that's
Yeah.
discussed.
There
Is,
is a lot of self monitoring in the group.
yes.
Um, guys will come to each other and like, hey, are we allowed to do? And it's like, no, I don't think you're allowed to do that. And oh
Right.
shit, and it's like, okay, all right, okay, So there is a lot of self monitoring, and a lot of keep it honest
The
in the
drivers
group.
meetings help probably too, because
They
every
do,
time somebody does complain about stuff, and
yeah,
we've had many, we've had many complaints about that too. And it's like, well, you
Yeah.
should just make the decision. You shouldn't put it in a driver's meeting. And it's like,
Hmm.
no, if you're going to be a tattletale, we're going to all
Yeah.
discuss this because this is going to affect literally somebody's points, somebody's standings. You
Yeah.
could remove somebody from the podium. If it's not black and
Yeah.
white in the rule book, we're going to discuss it.
Yeah.
And
It will be in next year,
yep, it will be
but
in next year.
but yeah. But for this point in time, we are going to discuss as a group because that's what the event is about. It's about the group. So
Yeah, yeah. And
yeah.
I really do like that. So,
Yeah.
well, you're gonna hop, skip, and jump over here because you're actually not that far, right? I think you're the second
No.
closest. Gordon's the closest. He's only a half hour
Yeah.
or whatever, and then you're the
Yeah.
next one
Yeah.
closest.
Yeah. It's
So,
like an hour and something to get over there, so it's
yeah.
nothing. Wait a minute.
Um,
No. It's two. It's an hour in the red truck. It's like 2 hours and something with yeah.
when you're
Two.
towing something,
Yeah.
it's a little
Yeah.
bit longer. That's how we're gonna
Yeah.
leave that. Okay, great.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
because
Yes.
you got to do extra caution and everything with the towing and all. So,
Yes. Yeah.
you
You got
know.
to do it right. You know.
Okay. All right. That's how we're going to say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Great job,
Right. Right.
Mario. Appreciate it. Jeez. So, Liz, y'all are giving me, I can't do these interviews anymore. Y'all are giving me aneurysms and stuff because I'm like, goodness, y'all are a bunch of shenanigan people.
Yes, yeah. I really am. I am a little upset that Travis Trent is out of the game. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
That was definitely a good time in the little remote control car he
Oh
carries
my
in his
gosh.
trailer.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah, I do. I he was a faithful one too. He came back year after year after year till
Yeah,
he hung it up, and I was
yeah.
really shocked when I think he parted that out, right? Didn't he? Did I see that
Yeah,
right?
he sold the truck. I think he sold the motor and trans separate, and then I believe Eric McMichaels is the one who bought his truck and he has a 6 liter in it right now. Yeah.
I I have seen. So we were talking to Matt. I was talking to Matt like last night about this actually because I talked to
Yeah.
Buckingham, and then I was like, do you realize how many people are out of the game now that were in the game? Like
Yeah.
when we were coming up, like think about all of these people, and
Oh
some
yeah.
of them are out of it because of government BS, obviously. And
Yeah.
then some of
Right.
them are out of it just because like they have nothing left to prove. They were the top of the game, or they were,
Yeah.
they achieved whatever they were going for. And now it's kind of like, well, and I'm
Right.
just like, wow, like I just couldn't believe when you actually sit down
Yeah.
and think about it, it's a lot of people,
It is. It is. And there's a lot of big names that are just, that just decided this was they've had enough,
Yeah.
enough of the pushing the stone up the hill.
Hmm.
They just had enough of it and said, this is it. And I don't know. I'm just maybe there's learning disabilities in the middle of it or something. It just from from KOS until time to sign up for KOS again. The ADD just keeps me like forgetting that. That was a terrible weekend, but that's all right. Just sign up again. It's
It'll be all
yeah,
right. Well, I think every year you're hopeful, right? Like there's so many of
yeah.
you guys that are
Well,
actually in the same boat,
yeah, one or two things change, and it's like, oh man, it's really there is nothing wrong with that truck. I just got to get the tuning right,
Right.
and it comes around every single time. And um, you know, this year, I was like a few months ago, I was struggling with the fuel pumps again, and I was like,
Mm.
these damn pumps and pulling air and they're not priming right again, and like I've had enough, I'm gonna get rid of them, blah blah blah. And um just by chance I changed the tune in the truck to an old tune that I had, and
Hmm.
truck ran fine. And it was like, wait a minute,
Right.
Was I blaming the pumps the whole time, and it wasn't that? Like it
Right.
was something to do with the tuning that was doing this? Like
Yeah.
what is going on here?
We
So
really,
I
really need one of those older guys, those OG guys, to just like
yeah
somehow get back on the keyboard for these power strokes, because that's
yeah
definitely a place where everyone is struggling, and it's not for
yeah
lack of money, right? Like you guys would
yeah
throw
yeah. I'm not.
stupid amounts of money at it.
Well, I have been there and spent that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep.
I can't. The sheer amount of money I have spent to try and push the Power Stroke platform, um, 2-wheel drive tube chassis that is
Sitting there.
sort of yeah
Yeah.
sort of done. It's sitting there. It's waiting. Like am I going to do it someday? I will. Uh,
Hmm.
someday when they give me the rest of my parts that are still owed to me,
Right.
um, I will. And now I have the electrical harness, so that's out of the game.
Hmm.
The I have an extra engine. I bought the transmission. I bought all the parts. I have all that stuff. I have plenty of turbos sitting at my shop. It's not an issue. Um, but it's like mm,
It's
the
difficult
amount of
for, yeah, it's
yeah
difficult. And you
yeah
and I have had this conversation multiple times. I know you've probably talked to Matt and other people about it too, but you and I have talked about it because um quite frankly, I don't really have a filter, and I'm just like, hey,
yeah
listen, like
yeah
this is just crap now, because
yeah
you guys want to go, you want to do these things, you'll throw the money at it, you'll push the
yeah
platform, you'll go racing, you still have the
yeah
drive, you're diehard Power Stroke guys. Like there's
yeah
no chance you're going to do anything else other than Power Strokes, and you
right.
want to go and do those things. And it's like, if we could just rewind 15 years.
Oh yeah
That's what you guys were doing. You were not nothing if you didn't have a Power Stroke. You guys were just
yeah
pushing the limits, and you were at every event. You knew as soon as your group rolled up, well, forget Dino Awards for the day. They're all taking them
yeah
home. Like you
yeah
got, you
yep
just, that's how it was. And
yeah yeah
it's difficult now to see where it's fallen to, and hopefully
hmm
as an industry somebody will
yeah
step up and do that. But it's
yeah
difficult and it's frustrating, and I feel your pain as far as that goes. That's why Matt's truck is the way it is. He's like, I'll do
yeah
it, I don't want to do it, I'll do it, I don't want to do it. He goes through the same thing, like, let's
yeah
do this,
yeah
and then, well, screw it, we can't get the tuning right. you
yeah
know
right. Yeah, I mean, I have my own licensing. I have my own equipment. I have the ability to do it. I don't have the understanding. And the just the verbiage, the conversation between someone who knows how to tune a dual pump power stroke versus someone who's just trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
The knowledge is all I need. I don't need the do it for me. I'll do it. You just tell me what button to push and how long to
Right.
push it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of what I get nowadays from that group is that well, when we used this software, it was different than this one,
Right.
and I don't really know that one as much. And
Right.
it's like, okay, well, what's it called? Tell me what it's called, and I'll find it in the damn computer and change it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Um, Now I do have a new guy that I'm working with out of Canada, and he's pretty good. Um, the let's say the hopes are there. Um, he has himself proven himself with the Power Stroke platform
Mhm.
time and time again. He's set records and everything else, and I'm very interested to see what he can do. So far, my results have not changed. I still have some issues, but he is working on them. So that's, that's cool. So
That's hopeful, right?
yeah, right, right, right. So we'll see how that goes in, in the next coming weeks. But same thing as always. I don't want to do anything unless I'm driving the truck around and knowing that it's fine.
Right.
But like now I can't get the truck over 40 miles an hour because it doesn't fuel right. So yeah, yeah. So we've got some work to do, but
Oh
we're
boy.
doing it. So you know what I mean.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, you're still early, right? You're only two
yeah.
weeks from the competition to
Right,
try to
right,
get this
right,
figured
right,
out.
right, right.
So you still
Yeah,
got plenty of
yeah.
time, right?
Plenty of time, plenty of
Plenty of
time, plenty of
time.
time. Yeah.
Plenty of time. Good thing you're
So
jumping on it early. Yeah.
right.
Uh-huh. Oh
Right, right,
man.
right.
All
Yeah,
right,
so
Mario. Well, I will let you get going and
I
get that
appreciate
truck
you.
going.